In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to fix grand total not showing in Excel pivot table. To get started, open Microsoft Excel and go to the workbook that contains your pivot table. If you've noticed that the grand total is missing, don't worry. This usually happens because the grand total setting has been turned off in the pivot table options. The good news is that this is a very quick fix, and you can usually turn it back on in just a few clicks. Before making the change, it helps to understand what you're looking for. In a pivot table, the grand total gives you the overall sum for your rows, your columns, or both, depending on how the table is set up. For example, if your pivot table shows products and sales amounts, you might see values like laptop with 1200, mouse with 800, and keyboard with 950. When grand totals are enabled, Excel will also show the combined total, which in this case would be 2950. If that total isn't visible, the table can feel incomplete, especially when you need a quick summary. To fix it, click anywhere inside the pivot table first. This is important because Excel only shows the pivot table tools when the pivot table is selected. Once you click inside it, go to the Pivot Table Design tab at the top of the screen. In that tab, look for the Layout group and then click the option labeled Grand Totals. A small menu will appear with different choices for how totals should be displayed. From that menu, select On for rows and columns. This tells Excel to show grand totals for both directions in the pivot table, which is the most complete setting, and the one that solves the issue in most cases. After you select that option, take a moment to check your pivot table. You should now see the grand total row, the grand total column, or both, depending on your layout. This lets you view the overall totals clearly without having to calculate them manually. Once the setting is enabled, Excel will display the grand total again, making it much easier to read and analyze your data. If your totals still don't appear, make sure you actually clicked inside the pivot table before opening the Design tab, since that's a common reason people miss the setting. And that's it. That's how to bring back the grand total in an Excel pivot table quickly and easily.